thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. Discussion on possibly making $1 million available to local agencies looking to reduce homelessness will be brought forward at tomorrow's council meeting. The funding would be used to leverage other dollars from higher levels of government for projects with a price tag between $150,000 and $500,000. The recommendation from city staffers comes as a result of a December request from at-large councillor Mark Bentz. The homeless encampment at the County Fair Mall led him to seek options for other avenues the city could help with homelessness. Advocacy is one of the 3 strategies outlined in the report, as is a change to community, youth, and cultural funding program to allow for applicants with a focus on homelessness. The largest is an increase of the Community Partnership Fund to $1 million. Bentz explains where he believes the money is most needed locally.
Things that I'd heard said most by the people that know the most about these areas is transitional housing. Not just a place to put your head, but a place to put your head and to be mentored into how to get to a better life. And that's what I would like to see happen.
Council will also see an update on the status of the city's new zoning bylaw. There are currently 5 appeals to the province's land tribunal, meaning the old bylaw will remain in effect until they are resolved, process which could take months. And due to a necessary service repair, a portion of Red River Road was closed in both directions today. The section between Rockwood Avenue and Hodge Street was completely blocked off. Drivers were asked to drive with caution and to plan ahead with alternate routes to avoid the construction. The repairs were expected to be completed today. As we head over to the Ukraine, the images and stories have invoked a variety of reactions from heart-wrenching to full outrage. While many can just sit and stare at the destruction, one Kenora resident spent several weeks in the war-torn nation, bringing his medical skills to the front line. Adam Riley has the details.
I can't sit here on the sidelines knowing that, civilians and the general population are suffering.
A combat veteran of both Afghanistan and Iraq and a seasoned member of Orange, 35-year-old Jordan Searle says within minutes of watching the opening assault on Ukraine, he was receiving texts from fellow veterans suggesting they do something about it. And while initially they were going to fight, Searle suggested an alternative, using some of their civilian life skill sets, as there were already thousands of others capable of taking up arms.
But they don't necessarily have all the specialist resources or even the logistical support to carry on the rest. So, within sort of 72 hours, we had a plan of bringing 4 ambulances fully stocked with emergency supplies and the ability to erect a field hospital.
Initially, the plan was to bring the equipment to the Polish-Ukrainian border, but Russian forces killed several of the group's contacts, meaning nobody could come to collect the ambulances. And after some discussion, the group continued into the country, making their way as far as Kyiv, which Searle says was a surreal experience, noting nothing could have prepared him for what he saw.
When we crossed the main bridge across the river that separates the 2 parts of Kyiv city, I see a city skyline on fire. There are jets dogfighting above us. There's tracer rounds going into the sky.
Once settled, Searle and company built a 5-bed trauma unit and with other local medical experts provided the level of care you might expect at Thunder Bay Regional under warlike conditions, and spent several weeks assisting both defenders and civilians alike. Later on, he was one of the first to witness the aftermath of the horrors in both Irpin and Bucha.
A lot of the local population had zero access to medical care in the time that they were occupied. So, we were dealt with multiple people coming forward, not just with sort of horrendous traumatic injuries, but also primary healthcare problems, chronic conditions and stuff.
After spending 7 weeks in country, Searle decided to leave and return to the Polish border with a group of refugees, where he did what he could to help a 5-year-old boy who had lost his entire family.
You look at his face and you knew that he understood that, mum and dad aren't coming back. He sort of played with me for a little bit, and I sat him on my shoulders and we helped this lady carry what stuff that they had back across the border. And bear in mind, these people had nothing.
Now back in Canada, Searle says he's working on a plan to bring another group of specialized ambulances to Ukraine and intends to make the delivery again himself. Adam Riley, TBT News.
A new online marketplace is helping Thunder Bay shoppers connect with local businesses. My Localism is a website that was launched about 2 weeks ago and provides a simple way for local buyers to purchase products from vendors around the city. Vasilios Bellos reports.
Imagine a website that has the convenience of Amazon while still providing the opportunity to support local businesses. That's the goal of the new multi-vendor online platform called MyLocalism. Pam Talon is the CEO and says the idea came as a way to fill a gap in the local marketplace after she surveyed around 130 consumers about what they want in terms of shopping in Thunder Bay.
I want to shop local, but I don't know who has it. A lot of vendors either don't have a website, or if they do have a website, I can't find the website. And then when I find the website, I can't browse the individual product. And that was the very clear point. They wanted to browse by product because every other place has told them they can.
This means that anyone looking for something on MyLocalism can search for that product and immediately be connected to any of the signed up local vendors that carry it. While the convenience is clearly there for the consumer, the website has also been designed to be straightforward for businesses as well.
One vendor who said that she did all her product loading with no training at all on this brand new platform she'd never seen at the rink while she was watching her children do their thing on her laptop, and she had absolutely zero issues.
Multiple vendors have already signed up for MyLocalism, costing $45 a month or 50% off if they sign up annually. Along with this, MyLocalism takes 14% of each transaction. Matt Lawrence owns Wellness 3D and says even though they only opened in January, the prices were still manageable.
The general cost of advertising and what it costs to put out any type of media, it's really it's extremely cost effective for our business, and yeah, that's why I think it's something we'll definitely stick with.
MyLocalism is hoping to begin turning a profit in 2 years while continuing to provide a convenient way for Thunder Bay shoppers to connect with local businesses. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
Earlier this week, students from Westgate High School did their part to be good neighbors. In partnership with Eco Superior, students from 6 different science classes held their own Spring Up to clean up. The students separated into groups where they had 30 minutes to pick up as much trash as they could around the area. Gloves and grabbers were provided to the school from Eco Superior, who has partnered with multiple schools around the city to help make it greener. The students and staff were all glad they were able to pitch in and help clean up the school grounds and surrounding neighborhood.
I hope that this does a little bit in terms of building pride for their school. I hope it builds a little bit of pride for their neighborhood, and I hope it builds a little bit of pride for the environment and come away from this understanding that every little bit counts.
I'm really happy that we've done the Spring Up for Cleanup. Not a lot of kids my age don't really care about the environment anymore, and so the fact that our schools and communities are doing this is a great thing.
Nan Chiefs approved a new housing strategy for their 49 communities this week during the Spring Chiefs Assembly here in Thunder Bay. Nan Grand Chief Derek Fox says the plan is meant to ensure adequate infrastructure and quality construction. He notes the reserve housing has been substandard for decades, and it's time for First Nations to take more control over the situation and rely less on the federal government.
If you jam 15 people into a home, for example, for housing, and you don't have your own personal space, that affects your mental health. If you just put yourself in their shoes for a minute, we all have families, we all have homes. Just imagine not having access to those things that we may take for granted ourselves here in the cities.
Full details of the plan haven't yet been released publicly. The Friends of Chippewa Park have launched a new 50-50 draw, with the profits going towards a festival that will be held at the park this summer. This draw is following on the heels of their successful Catch the Ace lottery and is the 4th draw in the series. All proceeds will go towards Family Fest 101, which is a 5-day free admission festival at Chippewa to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the park opening. They have raised about $20,000 through the lottery and plan on doubling it by the time the festival starts. Project manager Ian Angus spoke about what people can expect from the 5-day event.
Room for between 5,000 and 7,000 people on field number 1. We're also running a children's festival in behind the pavilion, including a fish derby, catch and release fish derby. There'll be fireworks, lots of food vendors, lots of merchandise vendors. Just a great time for everybody just to celebrate being able to be out and about with people.
The 50-50 draw will be held at noon on the last Wednesday of each month, starting on May 25th. Lottery ticket prices range from $5 tickets for $10 to 200 tickets for $80. Residents can purchase tickets online at chippewapark.ca. We're now joined by sports anchor Kurt Black. Plenty of hockey throughout Canada today, but we're going to focus on something a little more local.
Yeah, we haven't had any local hockey and it seems like forever, but all that is going to change this week as the Centennial Cup gets going and Red Lake, they're making the trip west. We'll get you all set for the national championship right after the break.